Okay, here is your text and your directions for Literacy 11-12. That is Thursday. Your goal is going to be to read your text once for flow and once for purpose. You can also listen once for flow and once for purpose instead, but you want to make sure that you are following along with me as I read. During the second read, you want to highlight the important keywords and facts. And so each time you hear a fact that you want to use and draw later, highlight that, okay? Then, after you've done that, you want to find a way to draw these facts in your note taker. However, you are going to write a little bit too, because these visual notes combine words, bullet points, shadows, drawings, connectors, boxes, which are already made for you. So you want to make sure that you take those key details, transfer them into the boxes with writing and pictures like we have been doing. After you've done that, you want to write or draw the main idea as well. You can do both, it doesn't matter. You also want to make sure you have the article title at the top. And today is that sixth step, which is different. After you've finished your notes, go to your class Flipgrid and find today's assignment. You will need to record a video to explain your notes. So you want to tell your teacher what you drew in each box and how it connects to the evidence you chose. So, if you draw a picture here, your teacher is not going to see that picture in your video because unless you used a piece of paper, then you can share it and show it that way. But when you've turned it in, your teacher can watch your video and look at your notes at the same time and can see how your drawing makes sense with the text. Okay, we want to make sure that our drawings are clear and that they help us remember what we actually read. They're not just random. And so as you go, you're going to want to say, here's my first box. In the box, I drew a picture of this. I drew this because blah, 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 right? It connects to the text because the picture represents this thing that I highlighted, or something like that. And you can go box by box. Here's my first box, my second, my third, and my fourth. And here's my main idea. Okay, I'm going to read you the article. Here we go. There's a lot of tricky words in this, so I also have created a little glossary for you to help you with some of these words. And I'll read this once just for flow, then we'll read these tricky words, and then hopefully that'll help you when you read it the second time or listen a second time. Okay. There's no taming this shrew. Shrews are tiny, solitary, mostly nocturnal animals found in temperate rainforests throughout most of the world. Fierce predators, they eat many kinds of animals, including insects, earthworms, spiders, birds, amphibians, and rodents, which are sometimes larger than the shrew itself, as well as vegetation, nuts, and fruits. When a shrew bites its prey, toxic saliva flows through the grooves in its lower front teeth to kill or paralyze the victim. Shrews use a lot of energy, so they must eat constantly. They store piles of live, paralyzed prey in their burrow, so they'll always have plenty of fresh food on hand. Wow, gross. Although a shrew is immune to its own venom, it probably is not immune to the venom of fellow shrews. So that means like other shrews. These little carnivores are known for feuding over territory. So if a shrew gets bitten by another shrew during a turf war, it might become paralyzed or die. So they're basically saying, if its own venom like gets on it, it's not going to have a problem. However, if another shrew bites it, it could get paralyzed or die. And they get in fights over their land quite a bit, it sounds like, based on this. If you were to get chomped by a shrew, you'd likely experience pain and swelling, but you'd be unlikely to expire. And we'll hear the meaning of that word down below. In fact, shrew venom may be used in the future to help treat migraines, high blood pressure, and neuromuscular diseases, and even smooth out wrinkles. Wow. Shrews are eaten by owls, hawks, weasels, snakes, and salamanders, but other predators won't touch them. That's not because of their venom, it's because of their stink. A shrew's scent glands make it smell and taste mighty bad. So if your cat leaves a shrew on your doorstep, Felix may well be telling you, "P.U." Okay. So lots of tricky words in there. Not all of them were defined, but the ones that I thought would really be important were. Solitary means that they mostly stay by themselves. They don't live in groups with other animals. Okay. Nocturnal is awake during the night primarily. Amphibians are cold-blooded vertebrates, and they include things like frogs, toads, newts, and salamanders. Rodents are gnawing, also known as chewing mammals that include rats, mice, squirrels, hamsters, etc. Toxic saliva means spit that is harmful. So the spit in your mouth would actually be harmful, could paralyze or poison. Paralyzed is like a part of your body or your whole body can no longer move. This can happen in like a really bad accident, or it can happen through things like poisonous toxic venom or saliva in this case. Burrows are a hole or tunnel dug by a small animal, and they often live there or store, their food there, or both. Immune means you're not responsive or susceptible. So for what that means is like if, for example, you are immune to a disease, it means you can't get that disease. So you're not able to get it. So if there's, in this case, they used immune as they're not responsive to their own venom. So their own venom does not harm them. Carnivores are meat eaters. Turf war is like a fight over your land or where you live, basically. Expire means to die. It does not mean like your groceries went bad in this case. It does mean that in other scenarios. Scent glands is an animal gland, also known as an organ, that produces an odor. So something stinky, like the way that a skunk does, or a defense substance, so something that protects it. In this case, the odor does protect it because it makes things not want to eat it, right? Okay, so lots of tricky words. Here's a picture of a shrew. Shows its general structure there. Shows its scent glands. Yep, it's on its butt. You are correct. That's where a lot of animals have their scent glands. Totally normal. And you just get a general visual here of the shrew. Okay? So when you go back again, use these words to help you.